I'm not the victim of the world I see. I'm not the victim of the world I see. Look about you while repeating the idea. I'm not the victim of the world I see. I'm not the victim of the world I see. I'm not the victim of the world I see. Both your inner and outer world are in your own imagination. Both your inner and outer world are in your imagination. I'm not the victim of the world I see. I'm not the victim of the world I see. Then close your eyes and apply the idea to your inner world. You will escape from both together, for the inner is the cause of the outer. Remind yourself that you are making a declaration of independence in the name of your own freedom. Close your eyes and apply the idea to your inner world. Now look at your thoughts. I'm not the victim of the world I see. As you're looking at your thoughts, I'm not the victim of the world I see. I'm not the victim of the world I see. Go inside and look at your thoughts. I'm not the victim of the world I see. I'm not the victim of the world I see. I'm not the victim of the world I see. And now today, if distress say I have invented this situation, I have invented this situation as I see it. Use that throughout the day. I'm not the victim of the world I see. I'm not the victim of the world I see. Well, thank you all so much for joining me in studying A Course in Miracles. I'm Forgiveness Willie, teaching forgiveness from my home place here in the Ozarks. Lesson 31. Jed, hush. Thank you. I am not the victim of the world I see. Today's idea is the introduction to your declaration of release. Again, the idea should be applied to both the world you see without and the world you see within. In applying the idea, we will use a form of practice that will be used more and more with changes as indicated. Generally speaking, the form includes two aspects. One in which you apply the idea on a more sustained basis, and the other consisting of frequent applications of the idea throughout the day. So we're going to take two longer practice periods. He called them sustained periods of focusing in on the idea, and then little reminders throughout the day. That's how he wants us to, we're going to start doing that more and more. Two longer periods of practice with the idea for today are needed. One in the morning and one at night. 3 or 5 minutes for each of these are recommended. So he wants us to spend 3 to 5 minutes in sitting quietly with the idea and observing your inner world. I am not the victim of the world I see. That should bring you a lot of hope, huh? You're not the victim. 3 to 5 minutes for each of these are recommended. During that time, look about you slowly while repeating the idea 2 or 3 times. Then close your eyes and apply the same idea to your inner world. You will escape from both together, for the inner is the cause of the outer. So we'll start our practice period by just saying our lesson, I am not the victim of the world I see. And say that 2 or 3 times as you look around at the world you're seeing. Then close your eyes and look at your thoughts and apply the idea to your thoughts. I am not the victim of the world I see. As you survey your inner world, merely let whatever thoughts cross your mind come into your awareness, each to be considered for a moment and then replaced by the next. Try not to establish any kind of hierarchy among them. Watch them come and go as dispassionately as possible. Do not dwell on any one in particular, but try to let the stream move on evenly and calmly without any special investment on your part. As you sit and quietly watch your thoughts, repeat today's idea to yourself as often as you care to, but with no sense of hurry. So as you watch all your thoughts go by like a parade walking down the road, and as they come in your awareness and you catch them and you name them, then say, I am not the victim of the world I see, and then go on to the next thought. In addition, repeat the idea for today as often as possible during the day. Remind yourself that you are making a declaration of independence in the name of your own freedom, and in your freedom lies the freedom of the world. The idea for today is also a particularly useful one to use as a response to any form of temptation that may arise. It is a declaration that you will not yield to it and put yourself in bondage. Okay, so if some temptation comes along that makes you feel like you want to get upset about something, tell yourself, I'm not the victim of this situation. I'm not the victim of the world I see, inner world or outer world. And remember, the inner world, the world of thoughts, is what forms the outer world. We're going to learn that more and more. Okay, let's go take a look in our text reading. And we're in chapter 4, The Illusions of the Ego. And we're in Roman numeral 1, Right Teaching and Right Learning. And we're ready for paragraph 8 till the end of the end of this section. So let's read it. We read 8 yesterday, but let's read it again. The ego tries to exploit all situation into forms of praise for itself in order to overcome its doubts. Wow. We got to have people say, oh, you're so wonderful, because we're so full of doubt of whether we are wonderful or not. It will remain doubtful, your ego, it will remain doubtful as long as you believe in its existence. You who made it cannot trust it because in your right mind, you realize it is not real. The only sane solution is not to try to change reality, which is indeed a fearful attempt, but to accept it as it is. You are part of reality, which stands unchanged beyond the reach of your ego, but within easy reach of spirit. When you are afraid, be still and know that God is real, and you are His beloved Son in whom He is well pleased. Well, that kind of rings of when the heavens were opened after Jesus was baptized by John in the Jordan, and the voice from heaven said, "This is my beloved Son, whom I'm well pleased." Listen to Him. Listen to what He has to say. Hear Him. When you are afraid, we can say the same thing when we're afraid. First, we do like it talked about there in Psalm 46, verse 10. Be still and know that I am God. So, You who may, where are we at? When you are afraid, be still and know that God is real, and you are his beloved Son in whom he is well pleased. And be you. Do not let your ego dispute this, that you're God's beloved Son whom he is well pleased. Don't let your ego dispute this, because the ego cannot know what is as far beyond its reach as you are. Paragraph 9. God is not the author of fear. You are. We're the author of fear. You have chosen to create unlike him and have therefore made fear for yourself. You are not at peace because you're not fulfilling your function. God gave you a very lofty function that you're not meeting. Your ego has chosen to be afraid instead of meeting it. When you awaken, you will not be able to understand this because it is literally incredible, without credibility, incredible. Do not believe the incredible now, that which doesn't have any credence. Do not believe the incredible now. Any attempt to increase its believableness is merely to postpone the inevitable. The inevitable. The word inevitable is fearful to the ego, but joyous to the spirit. Which did you feel when he used the word inevitable? Did you think, oh my, if you're still looking at it through the eyes of the ego? If instead you go, the inevitableness, that God is the only inevitable end to all things, then you're starting to look through the eyes of spirit. So he gives you a little acid test here. The word inevitable is fearful to the ego, but joyous to the spirit. God is inevitable, and you cannot avoid him any more than he can avoid you. You cannot avoid him any more than he can avoid you. Isn't that nice to know? Paragraph 10. The ego is afraid of the Spirit's joy, because once you have experienced the Spirit's joy, you will withdraw all protection from the ego and become totally without investment in fear. So the ego's death is when you start experiencing your true identity of spirit and the joy that is part of your identity. Your investment is great now because fear is a witness to the separation, and your ego rejoices when you witness to it. Leave it behind! ! Do not listen to your ego and do not preserve it. Listen only to God, who is as incapable of deception as is the spirit he created. Release yourself and release others. Do not present a false and unworthy picture of yourself to others, and do not accept such a picture of them yourself. Let's not look at them as the sinners and full of evil. Let's look at them the way that the Spirit looks at them, as how's he say it? That when you are afraid, be still and know that God is real, and you are his beloved Son in whom he is well pleased. Do not let your ego dispute this, because the ego cannot know what is far beyond its reach as you are, what is as far beyond its reach as you are. I read that over again there in paragraph 8, because I want you, that's the way we want to see our brothers and sisters, the same way, knowing that this is the beloved son and daughter of God, and that God's well pleased with them. Anything other than that perception is of the ego and is not real, and you're believing a delusion, which you can believe if you want to, but it certainly won't make you happy. The word inevitable is fearful to the ego, but joyous to the spirit. God is inevitable, and you cannot avoid him any more than he can avoid you. The ego is afraid of the spirit's joy, because once you have experienced it, you will withdraw all protection from the ego and become totally without investment in fear. Your investment is great now because fear is a witness to the separation, and your ego rejoices when you witness to the separation. Leave it behind. Do not listen to it and do not preserve it. Listen only to God, who is as incapable of deception as is the spirit he created. Release yourself and release others. Do not present a false and unworthy picture of yourself to others, and do not accept such a picture of them yourself. Even if they think that that's who they are, evil and full of sin and not God's beloved Son, you see them as God's beloved Son. That'll help them to see it too. But it'll keep you to where your mind has not gone crazy. Paragraph 11. The ego has built a shabby and unsheltering home for you because it cannot build otherwise. Do not try to make this impoverished house stand. Do not try to make this impoverished house stand. Its weakness is your strength. Only God could make a home that is worthy of His creations, who have chosen to leave it empty by their own dispossession. Yet His home will stand forever and is ready for you when you choose to enter it. Of this you can be wholly certain. God is as incapable of creating the perishable as the ego is of making the eternal. Of your ego you can do nothing to save yourself or others, but of your spirit you can do everything for the salvation of both. Humility is a lesson for the ego, not the spirit. Spirit is beyond humility because it recognizes its radiance and gladly sheds its light everywhere. The meek shall inherit the earth because their egos are humble, and this gives them truer perception. Of course, the meek shall inherit the earth, Jesus is recorded as saying in Matthew chapter 5, verse 5. The kingdom of heaven is the Spirit's right, whose beauty and dignity are far beyond doubt, beyond deception, and stand forever as the mark of the love of God for His creations, who are wholly worthy of Him and only of Him. Nothing else is sufficiently worthy to be a gift for a creation of God Himself. Paragraph 13. I will substitute for your ego if you will wish. I will substitute for your ego if you wish, but never for your spirit, says Yeshua. A father can safely leave a child with his elder brother who has shown himself responsible, but this involves no confusion about the child's origin. A father can safely leave a child with an elder brother who has shown himself responsible, but this involves no confusion about the child's origin. The brother can protect the child's body and his ego, but he does not confuse himself with the father because he does this. I can be entrusted with your body and your ego only because this enables you not to be concerned with them and lets me teach you their unimportance. I could not understand their importance to you if I had not once been tempted to believe in them myself. Of course, that speaks of Hebrews chapter 4 and 15, where it talks that Jesus was tempted in all ways as we were. Let us undertake to learn this lesson together so we can be free of them together. Back it up again. I could not understand their importance, the body and the ego's unimportance, if I had not once been tempted to believe in them myself. Let us undertake to learn this lesson together so we can be free of them together. I need devoted teachers who share my aim of healing the mind. Spirit is far beyond the need of your protection or mine. Remember this. In this world you need not have tribulation, because I have overcome the world. This is why you should be of good cheer. Of course, that speaks of what Jesus was recorded as saying in John chapter 16, verse 33, where it says, But Jesus straightway spoke unto them, saying, Be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. So now he's giving a little more fill in the blanks here. In this world you need not have tribulation, he says, because I have overcome the world. That is why you should be of good cheer. Okay, before we go on to our let's sing that. We had sang that with paragraph when lesson 27, which was above all else I want to see. Above all else I want to see. Okay, remember that? Well, we had sang it. In this world you need not have tribulation, because I have overcome the world. That is why you should be of good cheer. Let's do it again. Remind yourself that, in this world you need not have tribulation, because I have overcome the world. That is why you should be of good cheer. In this world you need not have tribulation, because I have overcome the world. That is why you should be of good cheer. Okay, that surely speaks of our lesson today also, doesn't it? I'm not the victim of the world I see. I'm not the victim of the world I see. Okay, we'll sing that. We can do another one of our little, maybe 3-minute practice periods if we have time here as we close. I found that some Buddhists consider January the 31st as Mahayana New Year's. The Mahayana Buddhists, Mahayana. And my grandpa used to joke with my brother Carl, whose birthday was on the 18th, and my grandfather's is on the 31st. His name was Bernard Julius Ebank. My brother Carl Curtis Perkins had their birthdays both in January, and Grandpa used to say, the best people have the birthdays in January. Kind of a little joke between them. Feast of St. John Bosco, Catholic and some Christians. St. John Bosco. And I found also that some Zoroastrians have the light over darkness celebration, the Seda Kermani, on the 31st. And there's also a Norse holiday that some heathens and pagans celebrate, the Valkyrie's Day, which is a Norse goddess. Appreciate your Social Security check day out of holidays and observances. Backward Day. Eat Brussels sprouts, the Brassica oleracea. Gorilla Suit Day. Don't know what that's about. Put on your gorillas. I love watching gorillas in the zoo or on videos. Hell is Freezing Over Day. Hug an Economist Day. Inspire Your Heart with the Arts Day. International Zebra Day, and there's 3 zebras. They're all equus, which are can cross with a horse. Your Equus genera. There's the Gaga, which is the African plains zebra. There's the Gravia zebra, which is the dry grasslands of Kenya and Ethiopia zebra, and they're the largest. And then there's the Equus zebra, which is the mountains of southern Africa zebra. What else do we have? Hot Chocolate Day, the Theobroma cacao. Seed Swap Day. Good day to use Seed Savers Exchange for seed swapping too. Scotch Tape Day. Street Children's Day. And Nauru Independence Day. They're that Micronesian island in the Pacific, and their word for peace is yo. Yo be with you. So we could just use that. I was going to use the word for Polish, which is pokoj. Pokoj. But, I think we'll just use, we'll use both of them. Pokoj and yo. What else did I want to say? Oh, the winged bean. I wanted to tell you a little bit more about it. The Phosphocarpus tetragonolobus. On page 22 on mine It says that the Urizen Japanese winged bean from Urizen, Japan, an early maturing and supremely delicious winged bean from Japan. This highly adaptable winged bean variety is not a day length sensitive, making it an excellent choice for a wide range of growing areas. Winged beans are native to equatorial Asia. Baker's Creek founder Jer Gettle first encountered winged beans on a trip to Thailand. Being a tropical crop from the equator, the winged bean typically takes a long season to flower, only setting pods just before frost in our Missouri climate. For years, Jer searched for a winged bean variety that would bear pods earlier in order to enjoy a longer harvest season. Urizen is just the variety he had been searching for. This variety will begin to produce pods in August, and heavy production continues until frost. This heat-loving vegetable is especially popular on the island of Okinawa, Japan, where it takes center stage during the warm summer months. Vines are lush and tropical looking with large lavender flowers and unique pods. The vine will readily climb a trellis or fence, making this an exotic edible ornamental. Traditionally blanched and stir-fried with pickled Japanese plum, we love to toss them into the wok with just about anything. They're also great in soups or steamed. Sliced beans resemble little stars and are a fun way to introduce kids to this nutritious vegetable. Okay, well, let's close with our song. And I am not the victim of the world I see. Be sure to do your two longer practice periods today and then throughout the day. I am not the victim of the world I see. Looking about you while repeating the idea for today. I'm not the victim of the world I see. I'm not the victim of the world I see. Then close your eyes and apply the idea to your inner world. You will escape from both together, for the inner is the cause of the outer. Remind yourself that you are making a declaration of independence in the name of your own freedom. I'm not the victim of the world I see. I'm not the victim of the world I see. I'm not the victim of the world I see. Look at your thoughts. Tell yourself, I'm not the victim of the world I see. I'm not the victim of the world I see. I'm not the victim of the world I see. And our words for peace today. Pokoj from Poland. They're on the Vistula and the Oder rivers. Or from Micronesia. And it's, be with you. Be with you. Is that, did I simply say if I'm pronouncing it right? I don't want to go over, but I think we got to find my word. Yo be with you. I am not the victim of the world I see. Yo.